Here we are. Good morning, Bulldogs. It is Monday, May 11th. I hope you and your families were able to somewhat enjoy Mother's Day yesterday. So I'm trying two different things this week with our update videos. So I'm going to try the first one today, and I'll try another thing later this week. Mostly because a lot of you guys at the beginning of lockdown requested more news updates, but then when I look at the analytics, very few people are watching it, and if you do, it's not for long. I'm assuming you're just fast forwarding to what you need to do today. I do wake up pretty early before I have to get my kids ready for their school and then do my school to do these. So with all the effort I put into it, I want to make sure it's worth both my time and your time. So the first variable I'm trying today is to do each section in 90 seconds. So I get to the point. 90 seconds of New York Times, 90 seconds of BBC, 90 seconds of On This Day, and then I'll explain what we're doing for today's assignment. All right, so got the timer set, 90 seconds, let's go. All right, so the New York Times, the top story says the White House is scrambling to stem its own outbreak. You may have heard, if you watched my previous videos, that the valet to the president, I believe is in the Navy, he tested positive. So did Katie Miller, who is the press secretary, I believe, for the vice president, and others. So they're worried about who needs to quarantine themselves. People like Dr. Fauci are putting themselves under a type of quarantine right now. So apparently, if you watched the political shows yesterday, that's causing a lot of stress in the White House. You see the image below was 11th graders in Germany. There's an article, as European schools reopen, relief combines with risk. Relief because it's really hard for parents, especially if you have kids in elementary school, to work if their kids are home, but also risk. Can this disease continue to be spread at schools? This is something that relates to you because before the U.S. schools reopen, I'm sure we're going to look at how did especially European schools and other countries reopen. So you might want to see what they're doing and what's working and what's not. Also, there's an article about the COVID-19 may not feel like recovery for some. Apparently, people still suffer after they recover with breathing problems, muscle aches, all sorts of things like that. And right now, the death toll in our country is about almost 80,000. All right, it's been 90 seconds. Let's start this again. Okay, so now the BBC News. More European nations are beginning to ease restrictions this week. Keep in mind that many European nations, the restrictions were even more harsh than they are here in the United States or even New Jersey. For example, France is letting people go outside. You couldn't go for walks the way you may be able to here or ride your bike or things like that. So fresh air is important, especially there's a big theory that vitamin D is helpful for treating COVID-19, which in one way you get that is from sunlight. Iranian sailors were killed in a friendly fire incident, 19 of their sailors. Friendly fires means your own people kill them. So Iranians accidentally killed other Iranians. It was, I believe, in testing a new missile of sorts. And then Wuhan, which is where we know, or where we believe that this virus originated from, is now getting its first virus cluster since they ended lockdown. That's something we need to watch as well, because something we will be concerned about. Once we ease these lockdowns and things return to normal, if we see a rise in the virus again, what will we have to do? On the left, if you want to, pause and check that out, this is what England is revealing is their steps to end the lockdown. So you see, to even go to a restaurant won't really be able to at July, the earliest. All right, it's been 90 seconds. You like that little song? That's annoying, isn't it? Gosh, stop it. Okay. All right. On this day in 90 seconds, you may remember this because it was only 5 years ago, but I chose this story. There were so many things to pick from for today because it deals with the rails, and we know that railways blossomed, is that the right word, during the Industrial Revolution. And with your assessment today, there'll be some questions on the railways. So there was a train going from DC to New York City. And as it was going through Philadelphia on a curved part of the track, it was going much faster than it should have been. So 102 miles per hour in a 50 miles per hour zone. The conductor was not like drunk or on drugs, but there's information about how he was trying to take in all this information at once and was sort of distracted. Engineers, so people in engineering, you may be interested in this, they believed it would have been prevented by positive train control. That was a very famous phrase after this incident. And it's basically a computerized speed limiting system. So almost like something to like monitor that the train just could not go so fast. Other trains in the Northeast Corridor did have that, but I guess there was just issues with enough trains getting it at once. This was the deadliest train accident with 8 people being killed in the Northeast Corridor since 1987. When there was a deadlier one. I don't remember how many people died, but so, with the pros of industrialization come the cons as well. All right, it's been 90 seconds. Okay, so this is the part I say most of you usually fast forward to. What are we doing today? So today is your assessment. Okay, this is an important assessment. It's an actively learn. So you're gonna have to go over there to actively learn. This counts as your test grade for the unit. We've had no tests since we've been home, just classwork grades and project grades. So this grade will be significant. If you've been doing well, you want to continue doing well. And if you've been doing this may help you. So, try to take this as seriously as possible. Now, I don't normally do traditional tests in here. We've done various different ways to assess. And with us being on lockdown, like a regular test doesn't even seem to work. So this is an actively learn. So there's many, and what it is information on the Industrial Revolution, but it's not passages, it's not speeches, it's not images, it's all data, tables and charts. So basically, it's not hard math when you're looking at this stuff, but you need to bring your brain. And if you look at the multiple choice questions, just take your time, don't rush through it. You can figure it out. It shouldn't be too hard. There are short answer questions. Okay, remember and actively learn. It's not just right or wrong. So you can get a 0, meaning you just don't do it. Please don't do that. Then it's like 1, 2, 3, and 4. So a 1 is incomplete, like it's completely wrong, or it's just a couple words. You're way off here. Basic is just that. It's basic. Yeah, you sort of got it, but you're missing. Then there's proficient, which is good. And then to get a 4, it's advanced, which means like, wow. Okay. Now for short answer, some of you are going to be tempted to give me like an essay for every short answer question. You don't need to do that. I would say like a paragraph should cut it. But what you want to make sure is you're answering all of the short answer question, that you're using details, that you're using specifics, that you're showing me you're thinking and you're using your brain. All right. You're showing me that you've been paying attention to this whole unit. You learned about the causes of the Industrial Revolution, its effects, things like that. Now, you may be tempted at home to start Googling things. And if you want to do outside research, I can't stop you. But I'm telling you that everything you need to answer this is within the actively learn and just the background knowledge that we've learned from this unit. Many people, the honors version is of course a little bit different than the regular version, but many students who already took the regular version Googled things. And what happens when you Google things, you often start plagiarizing things. Even if you change a word here or there, it's really easy for me to pick up on this, right? And then you lose all your credit. So if you're really tempted to Google things, please be mindful. Maybe just look at it for like an idea and then go back. Like don't focus on it, right? You might be tempted to consult your classmates. Be mindful of that as well. You can discuss things, but when I see like these answers are like the same, then you lose your credit. Okay. Like I said, it's not too difficult. So you really should be able to do this on your own without really consulting others. So if you do, be mindful. I don't want you to lose credit for this stuff. Keep in mind, it is due Tuesday night. All right. So you have all day today. You have all day tomorrow. If you get them done by noon by any chance, I probably will have them graded today, but don't make that rush you for any reason. So use your own strategy here. Maybe you start it, think about it, come back to it if you need to. If you're ready to just take an hour or so and focus and get it done with, do that. Don't wait until 11 o'clock tomorrow. I had some students starting at 11 o'clock the night it was due, and then they're rushed and they don't do as well as they can. I'll also give you this feedback. From my regular classes, like I said, yours is a little bit different, but still, students that took 20 minutes to 30 minutes, they did okay. They did eh. No one failed, but the people that did it in 20, 30 minutes, lots of C's, B minuses. The people that took like an hour to an hour and a half are probably the ones that did well. If you're taking 3 hours, because you're probably writing too much. Okay, if you're taking 2 hours, you're probably writing too much. So just because you were like, oh, I want to get fours mean address all the question, be detailed, like I said, maybe a paragraph. So I know some of you can get carried away. Nothing wrong with learning more, but I don't want you to add more stress and more work to your days. If they're as busy as mine are with, I see my kids working, you don't need more on top of it. All right, if you have questions, I will be here with my email to address them. I can't give you the answers. I can't tell you if it's right or wrong, but maybe if you're just unsure of what something's asking or something like that, or you just want to say hi, I'm here for that. Okay, you got this. You got it. So don't stress. And I look forward to seeing how well you guys do. All right. So stay safe, be well. If you're a fan of the 90-second versions, give me a comment, whether it's on YouTube or on Canvas or something like that. All right. That's it. See you on whatever day we see each other again, Thursday.